important to break beauty standards because there is no such thing as one attainable beauty. And if you continue to strive for something that doesn't exist, you're going to continue to feel awful about yourself. There's an infinite number of ways in which every person is great. So to just think, I am not worthy of love because I don't look like how I'm supposed to, you know, you can't live your life that way. That's not fair.
So institutionally, the Women's Studies program, they wanted to get more involved in National Coming Out Week. How I kind of started was, what's National Coming Out Week missing? And how can I tie in my personal experience into like thinking of an idea that's impactful to a large group of people, but also still be political and still have like a deep meaning. Being intersectional and being intentionally queer and queer focused, talking about pronouns, talking about race and how race impacts beauty standards, that's something that I also felt like wasn't brought to the forefront.
I feel like it's important to break beauty standards because you're not going to find happiness living up to other people's version of what's beautiful. I feel like when you actually learn to find what's truly beautiful about yourself, then you'll truly be happy. That's the only way to really be happy, is to accept yourself for who you are, and plus accept other people for who they are.
I think the way I dress can make me feel beautiful when I'm picking something that I know I actually like, if it's something that I'm not doing for anyone else.
It feels like you're owning the clothes, you feel like, oh yes, I'm accentuating what I love about myself, I'm rocking it, I don't care about whoever says anything about my body.
Whether it's wearing, the tie or stuff that, let's face it, came out of the men's department, it may not make other people particularly happy, meaning my family, but it's something that I'm finally accepting myself enough to do, and to do what makes me comfortable. So whether or not it's what society would exactly deem to be beautiful, if it's something where I'm finally dressing true to who I actually am, then I think that's how clothes can help.
Yeah, a lot of times, like with body hair, like this has only been like a few months for me, but I'll see like older guys kind of like kind of double glance at it, but I feel like a lot of like my peers, it's not really a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Yeah, mostly it's like older people that give me like the side glances.
What makes me beautiful is, that's a tough question.
I think what makes me beautiful is that I am bubbly. I'm like a positive person, and I like to be happy, and I like to make others happy, and I think that's why I'm beautiful.
I never really considered myself beautiful. Feeling beautiful is like feeling one with yourself and you don't find all the nitpicking flaws in yourself. Like most people will like say a negative thing here and there, or say, I don't like my nose, I don't like my hair, I don't like my thighs, calves, whatever. I think feeling beautiful, or what makes you feel beautiful, is when you really appreciate your body fully.
When I realize that my body is more than what I judge it to be, like it can do things on its own that are not of conscious thought. It's nice to just move and not think. That's what makes me feel beautiful.
For me, it's kind of hard because I also sometimes view beautifulness more with femininity. Whenever I feel beautiful, it's whenever I'm feeling like on point, my hair's good, I feel really beautiful itself, or when I do drag sometimes, or cross dress, either one.
When I was younger, there was definitely a time where I didn't feel beautiful. And to this day, I'm still struggling with it, but I'm becoming more comfortable in my own skin.
I feel like it's great to like break that, to tell people like, hey, I'm not the society's norm.
I'm not the size I want to be because my hair is not the way I want it to be, or anything else. And I want to kind of learn to accept that about myself. So that's actually part of why I'm doing this.
If you are society's norm just because it's the way you are, great, kudos for you. If you're beautiful, great. But I'm not, and I feel like there's multiple sides to what beauty is.
Probably the biggest time in my life where I did not feel beautiful and struggled with that was like all through high school. Like high school's hard for everyone, but I had like a really severe eating disorder. I was like hospitalized like multiple times.
When I was very, very young, me and my family got into a really big car accident, and it was devastating. And from that, I have scars all across the side of my face and on my mouth and all here, and like this section of my face was literally like ripped to shreds.
And I had like really low self-esteem. It was really bad.
But to have your face, like what you put out into the world every day, and it's how you represent yourself, and it's how people remember you and all that stuff. Like there's no hiding your face.
I wore a lot of oversized clothing and cargo pants.
That took a really long time to just like, after all the surgeries, not to feel like a science experiment.
It was like really intense for a long time, and I don't know. I feel like it sucked that it had to happen, but like through that, I kind of learned a lot about like beauty and like resilience, and that beauty is like a lot of other factors than like just how you look.
It's something I deal with on a daily basis. Like it's feeling beautiful and feeling confident.
Didn't really feel good about myself, really. I always felt, I guess I was also under society's norm. I wasn't really too big in the LGBTQ community yet, so it was just like, I didn't know really what it was. I didn't really know that to identify myself, which for me I kind of needed. I know for some people it doesn't matter about labels, but I feel like for certain labels it's nice, since you can feel a little grounded and you know where to start.
And so I personally struggle with eating disorders, and body positivity and body dysmorphia. So that's something that impacted me, and that's kind of why I kind of came to this understanding that body positivity is something that's not really discussed in great detail in National Coming Out Week already. So I wanted to like bring something like that into the institution and into National Coming Out Week. So that's something that I really wanted to hone in on in Breaking Beauty Standards. And hopefully this year we can just expand on that knowledge that we kind of established last year.
What I found is that scars are such a powerful thing.
You don't have to live up to everyone else's standards. You just have to live up your own standards. You have to live up to your own standards, saying that this is me being beautiful.
I think nothing's more beautiful than when someone really exudes like confidence, especially if you have a passion for something, like whether it's that you want to change the world or whether it's politics, your major. Just I think that can be like the most beautiful thing about someone.
I think if there's no way you can be a self-aware person and not feel bad about yourself at some point. And I mean, you know, I still have days where I feel bad about myself, where I'm like, you know, like, oh, cellulite, no one's gonna like me. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has days like that, but, you know, there's points in my life where it was worse, and I've reached a point now where it doesn't scare me anymore. I'm like, I'm not gonna hate myself anymore. Because, you know, if you feel bad about the way you look, that's never really what's going on. You know, you can be super thick and be happier than someone that's 120 pounds and 5'10".
And just like being, I guess feeling like you can be something other than like the cisgendered heterosexual like norm that exists. And being queer like was kind of this vehicle that I could like embrace myself more.
I think to be beautiful, you have to be real. You have to be genuine. You have to know who you are so that you can see beauty in yourself and see beauty in others.
I know what I am. I love who I am, and that's what makes me beautiful. And I think that's what beauty is, you know, your sense of self, your awareness of yourself, and being able to really say, like, hey, my name is, insert your name here, and I'm beautiful. And be able to say that with confidence.
Even though it may be hard to, like, both internal and external scars, even though it may be hard to, like, try and overlook them and like not pay attention to them. You should embrace them because they're what make you different.
You just have to find something in yourself that says that you're good enough. You just have to tell yourself or prove to yourself that you have something to offer to the world. And if you learn to find beauty in yourself, if you learn to love yourself, if you learn how to help other people find their own inner true beauty, then that's good enough.
And loving yourself above everything else, the most important is a practice.
Butch is beautiful.